Before the Vikings feared the Draugr, before Ragnarok threatened the gods, there were beings older than the world itself. They lived beyond the edge of creation, in a realm of endless winter. They were not monsters. They were not demons. They were the first, and even Odin feared them. Tonight, we enter Jotunheim. Welcome to timeless Europe, where history, myth, and ancient memory echo across forgotten lands. Tonight, we journey beyond the world of men, beyond the halls of Asgard, into a frozen realm of chaos and power, a place the gods themselves could not fully tame. This is the story of the Frost Giants of Jotunheim, the eternal rivals of the Norse gods. But what if the giants were never the true villains? What if they were something far older, far more complex, than legend allows? Let's step into the frost. Before the gods, before Odin, before Thor, before humanity, there was only Ginnungagap, the yawning void. Between fire and ice. On one side burned Muspel, on the other froze Niflheim. When heat met ice, something extraordinary happened. From melting frost emerged a colossal being, Wimir. He was not just a giant. He was the first life. From his body came the race of Jotnar, the giants. Before gods existed, giants ruled existence. This is critical. The Frost Giants were not invaders. They were original inhabitants of reality. The slaying of Wimir. Eventually, new beings emerged, Odin and his brothers, and they made a choice that would shape all Norse myth. They killed Wimir. From his flesh, they created earth. From his blood, the seas. From his bones, the mountains. From his skull, the sky. The world itself was built from a giant's corpse. Think about that. The Frost Giants were not just enemies of the gods. They were the material of creation. And the surviving giants never forgot. Jotunheim, realm of the giants. Beyond Midgard, beyond Asgard, lay Jotunheim. A wild land of towering mountains. Glacier older than memory. Endless winter storms. But Jotunheim was not merely cold. It was untamed. While Asgard symbolized order, law, and structure, Jotunheim embodied chaos, nature, and primal force. The giants were not mindless brutes. Many were wise. Some were more ancient than Odin himself. High Voltage Sign Part 4, Thor and the Giants. If Odin feared them strategically, Thor hated them personally. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, was forged to fight giants. The sagas tell of his journeys into Jotunheim. Battles against giants who could lift mountains or freeze oceans a shapeshift at will. In one story, Thor drinks from a horn connected to the sea, unknowingly lowering ocean levels. In another, he wrestles an old woman, who is actually old age itself. The giants were powerful, yes, but they were also cosmic forces in disguise. They represented things no god could defeat permanently. Giants were not always evil. Here's where the myth becomes fascinating. Not all giants opposed the gods. Some married them. Odin himself fathered children with giantesses. Thor's mother was a giantess. The line between god and giant was blurred. Why? Because giants represented raw nature. The gods represented civilization. One could not exist without the other. The coming of Ragnarok. The giants do not disappear. They wait. At the end of time, Ragnarok, they rise. Led by Loki and the fire giant Surtur, they march across the Rainbow Bridge. The final battle destroys gods and giants alike. Odin falls. Thor falls. The world burns. But after destruction, a new world rises, which suggests something profound. Chaos is not evil. It is necessary. What the Frost Giants really represent. The Frost Giants are not simply villains. They symbolize a winter, a death, a wilderness, the unknown, the unstoppable forces of nature to the Vikings, who lived in harsh northern climates. Winter could kill. Storms could destroy. Ice could swallow ships whole. The giants were not fantasy. They were personified fear. When we look at Jotunheim, we are looking at humanity's oldest struggle: order versus chaos, civilization versus wilderness, control versus inevitability. The gods may rule, but the giants endure. Thank you for journeying into the frost with Timeless Europe. If you enjoy exploring Europe's deepest myths and darkest legends, subscribe and join us again. Because long before history was written, the giants were already watching. And in the coldest winds of the north, they still whisper,